Hi guys, welcome back to the Vanity. Today what we're going to do is a kind of a full face of Glossier products. I believe you say it Glossier. It looks like Glossier to me, but everyone says Glossier. So that's what I'm thinking it is. But I went ahead and purchased on, I think it was Black Friday. They had 20% off. And this was one of the brands that I was always really interested in trying. So I thought, I'm just going to go ahead and dive in. I did end up spending about 150 bucks on all of this makeup. I have the primer, skin tint, powder, concealer, boy brow, lip gloss, lip product, the cloud paints for the cheeks. I didn't get any eye stuff or mascara. I did get some skincare stuff and lip balm. What else is in here? I don't know, but we're gonna dive right in and I'm gonna just do a quick first impressions of it, and then probably later on I'll do like my full review, my final thoughts, whether or not I think it's worth the investment and for what skin types it might be best suited. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Oh yeah, side note, I did chop off my hair. This is not a good representation of what it looks like day to day because I just washed it and it's just air drying right now. So I will go in with the flat iron, but yeah, I did chop it off. So let's jump in now. Okay, so I zoomed you guys in a little bit. Sorry if you see my mirror here, but that's what we're working with. I might be looking at the viewfinder quite frequently because I don't have my glasses on. I'm not sure if I'm in focus because I can't see, but hopefully we are. First, I'm gonna start off with the Balm.com. It's their Universal Skin Salve. Salve? Yeah, I think that's how you say it. But I just got their original that's not tinted, that doesn't have a scent, that doesn't have a flavor, anything like that. So I'm going to just put that balm on my lips first and see what we're thinking. I always have dry lips. I tend to prefer, well, obviously things that moisturize my lips, but I don't like lip balms or chapsticks that are more like beeswax based or anything like that. I find like they don't sink into my lips and actually moisturize. They just kind of sit on the surface. So far this doesn't feel like that is what this is made out of. So far I'm liking it. So we're gonna move on. I did pick up the priming moisturizer. So I did already put my skincare on. I did just the Bare Minerals volumizing serum and some sort of gel type moisturizer from Tarte because I knew that this was going to be a moisturizing primer. I didn't want to over moisturize, then the makeup would slide around. So we're going to go ahead and put this on. It doesn't seem to have a scent. Comes obviously in their little tube like this, and it's just a nice light weight consistency. It reminds me of the consistency of the Hangover RX by Too Faced. And it feels much the same when you're putting it on the skin. Yeah, the skin feels moisturized, but it doesn't feel greasy. It feels like it's sinking in a little bit, which is good. And it leaves kind of like, I don't know, a little bit of a smoothing feeling. So maybe it'll blur the pores a little bit. I don't know what the claims are on this. So I did pick up their concealer, powder, skin tint, cloud paints, boy brow, and then 2 lip products. The boy brow, I feel like it's a tiny little guy. Like it's way smaller than I thought it was gonna be, but let's see. Next, I think maybe we should go in with the skin tint. So I got one here in medium. I figured since this was a skin tint, I wanted to go a little bit darker than I normally would. I normally would not pick out a medium, but because this is so sheer, I wanted a color that, I don't know, I tend to pick stuff that's too light. And if it was kind of sheer, I feel like you would see it. So I went with medium. And I just want to make sure that it's shook up. Yeah, it says shake. So follow the instructions. Then smooth over moisturize with fingertips. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and go in with the fingertips. So that's the color there, and that's about as much as I'm going to start with. So far I feel like that's doing nothing. I get it, it is a skin tint though, so I'm not having high hopes of full coverage. I am looking forward to having something in the summer months when we go camping that I can literally just throw on to make my skin look a little bit more perked up without looking like I've put on makeup. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more. So I'm gonna go in with that much more. Maybe like dab it in a little bit, press it in. I feel like the medium for me was a good choice. In the bottle it definitely looks a little bit darker than my skin tone, but if I'm going to be using it in the summer, I do get a little bit tanner, so I feel like that was a good choice. I can't really tell. I mean, it looks like my skin, which is nice, but obviously it's not covering any acne, which I don't think it's really supposed to. So we're gonna leave it at that, I guess, and go ahead and do concealer. Now I got this stretch concealer in light. I don't know if this is their lightest color. Oh, it's a very creamy, like not creamy thick, but we're just gonna use our fingertips as well. It feels like a very moisturizing concealer. And I don't know if you guys can tell the difference between this eye and this eye, but it did cover sort of like that dark purpley a little bit that I have going on there. I don't think that this is going to do an amazing job covering any acne or anything like that. Like I said, just tossing on in the summer, I feel like this is going to have a good place in my makeup. I do feel like it did a good job underneath the eye here. I'm just a little bit worried with how creamy it feels, like how moisturizing it feels, whether or not it's going to crease up. So we'll see. But so far I like the look that it's giving me. I'm just going to use it to kind of spot conceal where I have some acne. And maybe I want to go in with a brush doing this. So I'm going in with this Sedona Lace 217 brush. I'm just going to buff that into the acne spots, but I don't want to get too much coverage everywhere else either. I feel like this is sort of less is more kind of makeup. I'm going to go a little bit around the nose. I'm not loving the concealer around the nose. It is grabbing a little bit on like my dry stuff. So I'm a little bit concerned that it might do that on some of the acne and I'm just having trouble seeing it. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it at that for now. And then we'll go in with the powder. So far, it's not really creasing under my eyes yet, not too bad. Normally I would put this on my eyelids and then go in with my like regular eye products, but I feel like the consistency of this concealer is not going to be good for that. So I'm just going to go in with an eye primer when I'm ready to do that. So I feel like before I move on, I do need to set my under eye. So the in the Wowder, I've got the light medium shade. So it comes in a little container like this and it has that little mesh piece on there. I didn't get the brush that went with that. I'm just going to use my e.l.f. Blush brush because that's the one I use to set. The powder looks like it might be a little bit too dark. We'll see. I'm just going to make sure I don't have any creases. I feel like that did a good job setting the concealer. Seeing that I'm not adding any cream products to my forehead, I'm just going to set that lightly as well. Then let's go on to the cloud paint. I picked up the color Puff and the color Dusk. So Dusk is more of like a natural peachy kind of color, and then Puff is more of like just a nice flush pink. And I thought that I could also mix them if I wanted like a peachy pink, and then I could do them separately. So based off of what I have today, maybe I want to mix them or go with dusk entirely. So I mean, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to go with dusk. And these things are much smaller than I thought they were going to be, which is good because I feel like it would take forever to go through like a really big one of these, but online I just thought that they were going to be much bigger. So that is the color Dusk. I'm just going to put that in both of my fingers here. Like that. I feel like I got too much on this side. Not enough on this side. I think I grabbed too much when I originally did that. But they do kind of dry pretty quickly, so maybe working one cheek at a time would be better. But it feels really nice. Like I haven't set, you know, obviously any of this, and that feels actually pretty nice. It dries down. It's not like a greasy cream blush. I feel like I'm really going to enjoy these. I like the color that it gave to my cheeks. I'm looking fresh, but I'm not looking overdone. Maybe I should go in with that on the eyes. What do you guys think? Just a quick wash? Maybe I'll do that. So I'm just going with Dusk again and taking a little bit on the fingers, if it'll squirt out. And we're just going to put that all over the eye. Not all over, but just on the lid and blend that up a little bit. It's going to give a little bit of color. It's going to be very natural, but I feel like it'll just give some dimension to the eye without having to put eyeshadow on. And I'm just going to lightly take my finger, whatever's left, and just blend underneath my eye so it's not completely bare under there. Okay, so far I like that. It's a little bit of color. It's very fresh and youthful looking. It's a little bit of a flush to the cheeks. The concealer, I wish it was covering just a little bit more of my acne. So I'm not. I'm going to just leave it and see what we get once we put powder on there. I did not get their Halo Scope, whatchamacallit. Yeah, I didn't get their Halo Scope highlighter. So I'm just going to go in with the Flush dewdrops, right? It's not dewdrops, just the Flush. I don't remember what they're called, but they're highlighting drops. This one's in Aura. I'm just going to take a little bit here before I set everything. Going back to the Balm, I actually really like that. The Balm Dotcom, it's sunk into my lips. They don't feel dry and crusty anymore. And they feel nice and soft. So let's go ahead and powder the rest of our face. So for that, I'm just going to use this Real Techniques. I believe this is their blush brush, but we're going to use it for powder. Dip in here and then tap off. And I'm more really concerned with setting this area where I have the acne and more of the concealer because I don't want that stuff to be moving around. So next up on the list, we're going to go ahead and use the Glossier Boy Brow. Now, normally I would run a pencil through them, but I'm just going to kind of see what this will do on its own. I picked up the color Brown, and I'm sure you guys have seen it before, but it reminds me of the Essence brow product. I haven't used the Benefit one, but it has a really small spoolie on it. So let's go ahead and put that in the brows. And my brows are naturally black, but I don't want to fill them in with black. So I usually do fill them in with a brown color. I like to go against the hair to really get it coated too, especially if you're not filling it in. Okay, I can see a big difference in the brow that I put the boy brow on and the brow that I didn't. It feels like just the way that it looks like when I fill it in. It makes it look a little bit fuller, like it's not so sparse looking up here, so those hairs look a little bit thicker, they have a little bit more color. So I like it. I think it matches well with the other products that I've already put on, and it looks cohesive for the amount of makeup that I have everywhere else. I don't think if your eyebrows are very sparse that this is really going to do it for you. You know, you can see most of my eyebrows without filling them in. So I feel like for someone like me who just wants to fill in a little bit of the bald patches, give them a little bit control, I feel like this is a really good product. This one that dried down, it does feel like it's going to have some staying power. Like when I go like this, my brows aren't all coming down. So far I'm liking this as well. This is a great brow product. Let me go ahead and put on some mascara, and then we'll just go in with the next two items that I have, which are lip products, and that will be everything that I have for this video. I'll also touch on the Jelly Milk Cleanser that I picked up as well. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back. So I did add just a little bit of the Mary Luminizer by the Balm on the inner corner and just right here on the brow bone. That's something that I do like to do as far as the inner corner for sure. Seeing that we just had something really light on the eyelid, I wanted a little bit of something by the brow bone, so I did add that. I did remove the lip balm that we put on, so let's just go ahead and do the other two products. So the first one is their Generation G lip. It is in Leo, I believe, and I can't remember what this is called, like their something sheer matte lip or something like that. The color in the bullet, I guess you would call this one, looks a little bit intimidating. When I got it, I was like, what did I pick this color out for? But I think it's because it's a little bit sheer why I picked this, and this would be more of a nude when I looked at the swatches. So let's go ahead and put this on. It definitely feels matte, like it's not really balmy at all. And it has a little bit of a, I don't want to say grit, but I don't know. The texture on this is not my favorite. It is a little bit too matte for me. I prefer more of your standard lipstick formula, lip gloss. But as far as a matte, it feels pretty comfortable. It's not super matte. I like that the color is more of a sheer wash. I feel like it goes with everything that the makeup line kind of already has. It's like more just you but better, not really overdone. The color, it's not my favorite, but it's an okay nude. I think the gloss is going to be something that I prefer much, much more. It is a nice everyday color. Like I could put this in my purse, probably put it on with any look and not feel like it doesn't go with it, so that's good, but it's not really my favorite. I don't feel like it's doing anything wonderful for my look today. So let's go ahead and put the gloss just over the top. Yeah, this is more my speed. Yeah, and this is a nice thick gloss, but it's not sticky, I don't feel. It provides a lot of slip to the lips, but it feels like it's going to last. Like it's a thick enough gloss that it's not just going to wear off right away. It's going to withstand it a little bit. With the color and then the gloss together, I like that much better. I think I'm really going to enjoy the combination more than the lip product, the lipstick by itself. Okay, so this is the finished look using all the Glossier products that I did pick up. I'm just going to touch quick on the Milky Jelly Cleanser. This one kind of surprised me. I just used it once last night. It does feel more creamy going on your skin. I feel like it would be really good for dry skin types and good in the winter. It'd also just be good for a morning cleanse because it feels really, really gentle. It's not the cleanser that I would like to use at night. I much prefer doing like a first cleanse with like an oil or a makeup balm to get that off, and then I like to go in with an exfoliating cleanser. So, but I do like it. I am going to continue to use it. I likely would buy it again in the future just because I feel like it does serve a purpose in my skincare regimen. So I do enjoy this, although the consistency surprised me because it feels more of like, more of a balmy type of cleanser than a jelly milk cleanser, but I can see where they decided to pick that name because it does have slightly a little bit of a jelly texture to it, but it seems more balmy to me than jelly, but it doesn't really matter. It's a nice cleanser. So far, I do really like the priming moisturizer. Now, again, I've only used it one time, but it feels like something that I'm going to enjoy and that I'm going to continue to use. The Balm.com, I do love it. I've already used it a few times. I cheated and I used it last night when I cleansed my skin, so I know that I already like it. It's the type of balm that I like. It's absorbing into my lips. It's making any of the harder, crustier, dry skin look better, feel better, and it doesn't just like go away. So I do enjoy that. As far as the skin tint, I think it's going to serve the purpose that I purchased it for. It's going to be on days where my skin's looking good and it's not breaking out, and I just want a little bit of something to wake it up. So I feel like this is really going to have a spot in my collection, and I'm happy that I purchased it. Do I think it's for everybody? No. I feel like if you are someone who suffers from quite a bit of acne, and it's that really bright red, painful looking acne that's all over your face, this isn't going to be the foundation for you, especially if you're looking for something that's going to cover it up. You're going to spend more time using concealer than you are you know, doing anything else. So I don't feel like that's going to work for you guys. But if you're somebody like me or someone who has pretty clear skin, I think that you're going to enjoy it. With my skin, I just have to be a little bit more targeted with the concealer, especially when I do have breakouts, but I can get a look that I enjoy and that I feel comfortable wearing, and that gives me enough coverage. Because if I'm still going to spend time doing makeup, I still want it to actually do something, you know what I mean? So I feel like that works so far. With the stretch concealer, so far I'm liking it. I feel like it set really nicely with the powder. It gave me a little bit of coverage on the acne, not as much as I would normally like, but I don't know if I go in with a really full coverage concealer that it'll look right with the skin tint. So I'm going to continue to use it. As far as little pot concealers like this goes, it's got a really nice creamy consistency. It reminds me a little bit of the Neutrogena Hydro Boost concealer in the stick, where it's really moisturizing. This is a little bit lighter though than that, and it blends out a lot better. It also covers better on the acne than that. The Cloud Paints, I really enjoyed this. As you can see, I did put it on my eyes and on my cheeks today. As far as the rest of my makeup, I feel like the only thing that I am lacking, obviously I would need to get a highlighter from this brand, but I can use other highlighters. But I also would need a bronzer. I feel like I need to bronze up my skin a little bit, so I likely will add that after this video. But if you guys are at all interested, for sure, as everyone has been recommending, the Cloud Paints are a must. I didn't try Puff, but I know that I'm gonna like that one as well. So it is a little bit trickier to use, as in that it does dry, but I much prefer the consistency of this than many other cream products that I've used, because it does dry and it's not greasy or tacky, it just dries down. So I feel like if you're just going to use it on your natural skin as well, it's going to set. You're not going to have to set it with powder. So I do enjoy these. Then the Wowder, so far I like it. The color wasn't bad. I thought that the light medium was going to be a little bit dark from the way that it looked in the pot, but so far it's good. It did set my under eyes well. My makeup feels set, but it doesn't feel matte and drying and tight, so I enjoyed this. The Boy Brow, you guys already know, it made a big difference in my brows, and I absolutely love it. It's gonna be perfect just to take with me where I don't have to do a pencil and the brow gel. I feel like it makes me look polished, but not overdone, so I definitely feel like this will have a place. I do feel like it's pricey for how little the product is, so we'll see how quickly I go through it. And so far I feel like it is going to keep my brows in place as well. Onto the lip products. The Generation G, this isn't my favorite. I wouldn't go out and rebuy any of the other colors. Hopefully I will continue to use this one because they are kind of pricey, but I think it came in like a little set where I got this, the gloss, this, and maybe the concealer. I don't know. One of them came with a set, a little bundle, so you saved a little bit. The gloss I really like. It's the kind of gloss that I like. It's a little bit thicker, but it's not sticky. It doesn't like leave a weird taste in my mouth as well. Sometimes glosses do that. I'm going to continue to use this. The only thing, if you are going to layer it, the gloss inside is going to start to get yucky and you're going to see it, so that's unfortunate. So I may not layer this one just because I don't want to see that get all yucky in there. But that's just personal preference. But yeah, so far, all in all, you guys, nothing that I tried did I absolutely hate. The only thing that I would not recommend is the Generation G lip product. I think they have other lip products, so I might be open to trying those, but this was not my favorite. I think this came in one of the bundles, and I thought, oh, well, I'll just get it because it comes with the bundle. When I was looking at everything, this wasn't something specifically that I picked out. It came in the bundle. So yeah, guys, that completes this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know if you have purchased any of the Glossier products. If so, do you love them? Are you going to buy more? Do you use them, or do you think that this is just a fad? Let me know in that comment section below. And once again, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch one of my videos. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.